is Jason Wright, and you're listening to Rambling About Washington.
I'd like to welcome onto the show my brother, my guy, Gil, that I grew up with in the Woodbridge area. We used to hoop it up in Eastern Prince William basketball, and we went to high school with each other, and we used to argue LeBron versus Kobe every day of our lives. What's going on, my brother?
Man, everything is good, man. I'm just excited for you to have me on, man. I know we've been scheduling been permitting this, but we got it going on. We got it going on. It's about time.
Hell yeah, I had to pencil my guy in. But yeah, man, we used to have these damn arguments in the hallways and in the comments every day at Freedom, and now we're on the same page because my favorite player plays for your favorite team. What do you think of this new Lakers team right now?
Bro, man, we got it's gonna be some growing pains, It's gonna be some growing pains in terms of, you know, adjusting to Westbrook, of course, right? I just feel like Westbrook and Braun are both ball dominant players, right? And
Hmm.
throughout their whole careers, none of them was really played off ball that much. You know what I mean? Especially Braun. Braun, his whole career, he's had his ball in his hands. So, and then Westbrook, especially the last, since KD left, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
KD left OKC, and then with him being in OKC, even with to the extent with Harden, he still had, the ball um, in his hands a lot. So now you come playing with LeBron. Bron has to have the ball in his hands
Has
to
to all
be
time.
effective. You know what I
Facts.
mean? So it's going to be a learning curve in terms of, um, how they can play off one another. And, what I suggest from, Vogel is, Westbrook and Braun can't really play that much together on the floor until probably like, when it's crunch time, of course. But Westbrook has to, when Braun is taking a break, Westbrook has to be out there with the bench and be the floor general that he is, and be able to control the game better, because when him and LeBron plays together right now, beginning of the season is not going to work out, but hopefully, as the season progresses, they find ways to make it work, and that's going to be up to Vogel, man. Like, he's playing with, he has three superstars on his team, and he has to make sure and make it work somehow, some way. So I'm excited to see how it's going to pan out. We're going to have some growing pains the first half of the season, but at the end of the day, we got Braun, man. Like,
Yeah,
a
man.
healthy Braun, a healthy Braun, a healthy Braun come postseason. You know me, man. I love our chances. So we'll see.
A- Absolutely. And it's nights like last night and the night before that Westbrook has to take advantage, because it's nice when LeBron are sitting out. That's when you got to get a feel for the roster. And giving up a 27-point lead to the Oklahoma City Thunder, that is not that
Ridiculous.
is not good for the morale of building team chemistry. Like, honestly, I turned that shit off after like the second quarter, because I was like, I don't have to watch this shit anymore. And Braun is out, and then I turned that shit back on just to make sure, and they were down, and I was so confused, bro. I was startled by the score. Like, I don't even what did Shy go crazy? Like, how did they
Yeah,
lose
so
that game
so
last night?
Shai just went nuts, like in the third, like he just went nuts, like because we started off like really well. Of course, we was up by 25 at one point. I
Mm-hmm.
believe 25, 26 points, and then like we just crumbled in the third. Like it was just, and we just was never able to pick it back up. Once the momentum shift, in the second half, the Thunder, the young cats just just rode the momentum, out for the rest of the entire, the game. So see, things like that is what that we can allow that in the beginning of the season, but we
Mm-hmm.
towards the middle, right before All-Star break, going after that, like that's the things that we cannot do. You know what I mean? Good teams, great teams don't allow that, things like that. You know what I mean? Even against teams that we should beat. I don't care if we don't have Bron. Like Anthony Davis and Westbrook should have been able to close the deal
Facts.
down the line, especially up 20, 25, 26 points. Like
Against the
that's
Thunder.
uncalled for.
Yeah,
Against the
against
Thunder,
the
man.
Thunder. This ain't
A
no
rebuilding
fucking good team. Hell yeah.
a rebuilding team at that. So it's just
Yeah, man.
things like that. We just cannot happen, man. So I'd rather have Bron take these type of games off in the beginning of the year.
Load management.
Load management. I know he hates it, but he knows at this time of his career where he wants to go and where the team wants to go. He can't play 75 to 80 games this season. Like it's gonna, in order to be successful down the line, we have to think bigger picture. So he doesn't like it, but he has to,
He'll be all right.
he'll be all right.
Facts.
So.
But we'll come back. We'll come back to basketball talk, and while LeBron is the greatest of all time a little bit later. But let's talk football. What is your football fanship? Because the last that I remember, you were a fan of Rodgers, but you didn't particularly have a team. What's your fan story, and what's your fanship like in football?
Man, so like it's crazy. I even talk to like some of my childhood friends, right? And they're like, every time I tell them I'm a Packers fan, they're like, "What? Since when?" Right? Because I grew up. The funny thing is, I grew up as a Michael Vick fan, right? Big Michael Vick
Mm-hmm.
fan. So
My
I was
man.
rocking. I was rocking it out with the Falcons for a minute. You know what I mean? Because I loved Michael Vick. I loved how he played. Us, everybody. Around. Who we know and a lot of people that I grew up with, we all loved Michael Vick, Madden and all that. We played with him and all that stuff. So like,
Mm-hmm.
growing up, I was just a big Michael Vick fan. So I was rocking out with the Falcons for a minute. And then like, when Vick left ATL, like my fandom for that team just, kind
Died.
of went away. It went away big time. So I remember seeing this guy Rogers, man. I'm like, bro, like this
Insane.
guy is sick, right? So when Rogers came out and when Favre retired, I started watching the Packers, and then like I grew to love them because of Rogers, mainly because of Rogers, though. You know what I mean? Because Rogers, I just felt
Mm-hmm.
like up to probably till Patrick Mahomes, like I felt like Rogers was somebody like personally, like I've never seen a quarterback play, that great with the type of talents that he has, right? The running ability, throwing, on the run, throwing off his back foot, throwing, dimes down the field, like not even set. Like I've never seen things like that, like
Mm-hmm.
growing up. So like after that, like I was set on the Packers. So you know,
You got him
Rodgers
on
is
your
the
wall.
reason
You
why
got
I'm
him
a
on your
Packers.
wall behind you, right? That's Rogers up there next
Yeah,
to Kobe on your wall, right?
yeah. Now, funny thing is, my wife got me the Rodgers joint, but he got Braun. That's Braun right there, but got the 24 on
24.
there.
Oh yeah, because I see the headband. I'm gonna say Kobe never wore the
Yeah,
headband.
yeah.
That's
So
funny as shit.
she got that for me when when Braun went to the Lakers. Cause it was a mixture of Braun and Kobe, so me, man, I ain't really like Braun growing up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I know.
Um, that's another story. Our
Hell
battles with
yeah.
Braun and Kobe and all that. So,
Hell yeah.
so, but yeah, that's how I grew up. That's how I became a Packers fan, just mainly because of Rodgers. He's just a great talent, man.
Hell yeah, man. He's insane. He's easily, before we saw what this Mahomes kid could do, Rodgers was by far the most talented quarterback I've ever seen. Like Brady got the hardware and all that, but Rodgers does things that no quarterback has ever done. He puts the ball in windows on the run without setting, like he does circus shit. Like I don't even know how he does, and he makes it look so effortless. He never looks like he's
Man,
breaking the sweat, trying hard or anything. Like I remember the Sunday night throw he had, and he put it between the Legion of Boom. He put it between Sherman and Chancellor in the end zone, like rolling to his left. That shit was unbelievable, man.
ridiculous,
Like
ridiculous,
I don't even know
ridiculous.
how he does that. Like I can see why someone growing up in the DC area would cling to a team that's not us. Like I can see that shit. You ain't never had
Facts.
you never had the urge to join the Washington Redskins fan base.
No, because it's just and like my funny thing is my brother and my dad, they're all growing up, they're all Washington football team fans. So it's just like, but me, I've never glued to. Of course, I follow football in general. I'm a football
Smart
fan.
man.
You know what I mean? So I just never really gravitated towards them. I know when during the beginning of the RG3 era, when the buzz was really really up there,
You was thinking about it.
I paid attention to y'all. You know what I mean? I paid attention to y'all. But when it comes to football in general, I'm a huge fan of just football, right? I'm not
Hell yeah.
in terms of me being a diehard Packers fan, I wouldn't say that, but like I am like a Lakers fan, like I'm a diehard Lakers fan. Like I'm rocking with the Lakers no matter what, you feel me? But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the Packers, it's more of me just really, really with Rodgers, you know what I mean? So
Hell yeah, I feel
yeah,
that.
we
And
see.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and some people see the way that some of our generation, the way that we fan, like some of these older people, they'll say, "Oh, y'all a bandwagon." Like the way that I've rocked with LeBron since '03, no matter where he's went, they'll see it and say, "Oh, he's a bandwagon." But I know your sports acumen, so I would never question that because I know you know sports. Like you're a fan of sport before team all day. And we can talk
Facts.
sports like all night, 24/7. We obsess over this shit. So I wouldn't question that.
Sports,
I feel you.
sports, sports in general, man. I just since I've been a child, man, like I've gravitated towards it. Like it just it's something that I just look forward to and I genuinely love, no matter what it is. Like I even started recently, like try to learn baseball. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, it's
baseball
a
is
great
something that
game. It's a
yeah,
great game.
baseball is something I probably don't know too much of, but I started this past couple months, learning a little bit about it and all that. And it's a good game, man. Like even I watch tennis, man. So I even into hockey a little bit. So it was just soccer. I'm a
Shit,
huge
golf
soccer
is
fan
good.
also. So it's just sports in general just is it's a big part of what I love to do on my off time. So yeah, man, it's just how it is. We've been knowing each other for a while. We have had a lot of arguments and
Oh yeah, but it's all
debates
good
and
vibes though. You
all
know,
that.
it's all just
Always.
passion. You know, like hey shit, we've had soccer arguments between Ghana and the U.S. because you rocking Ghana and I'm rocking for
Oh
Team
yeah,
U.S. We've had some heated discussions about that.
facts, facts. Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, man.
So
Sports is life, man. Sports is more than just like some people that look at sports fans like y'all are crazy, y'all have issues. Like, look, life can be stressful and depressing as hell. Sports is our outlet and our distraction from all that goes on in life that we have to be focused on 24/7 of adulthood, all our responsibilities and stuff like that. Sports is how we unwind and stay human, bruh. Because if not, then your mind would always be on something that you got to do. I got this to do. I got that to do. It's like life is like a redundant checklist. Sports keeps our mind off that and keeps our mind occupied with a passion of ours. So it just exudes through us. But let's jump back over to football right now. We're midway through the season. The Packers are 6-1. There's a huge matchup tonight. Could be an NFC Championship matchup. We got the Packers versus the Cardinals. How you feeling about this matchup tonight?
man, before of course going into the week, I felt really good, right? I felt really good. I feel like we've been playing good enough football. I know against you guys, we didn't play as well as we wanted to, because you guys even had a chance. I feel like you guys had a chance. Y'all kept it close. Y'all kept it close. It just I
We got to the
couldn't,
goal line like 10 times and didn't
yeah,
score any points.
red zone. Yeah, red zone was a big thing with you guys. You know what I mean? So, we escaped last week with a dub, but this week, coming into this week, I felt pretty good until Devontae, man. Devontae got ruled out
Oh yeah, the
with
COVID.
COVID.
COVID, yeah, a couple
Um,
guys.
it,
Lazard too.
Lazard too. So that's two two receivers that we're gonna be without tonight. So it's gonna be pretty tough. You know, we're gonna have to rely heavily on Aaron Jones through the run game and through the pass game too. You know, the last couple years since he's been there without Devontae Adams, when Devontae Adams has missed games, he has stepped up big time in the passing game. So guys like Tunyon and Jones. We
Yeah.
got
I need Jones to do something for me in fantasy tonight, so I need it.
yeah. So we got to control. I feel like tonight we got to control the game by with our run game. Keep the ball out of Kyler Murray's hands. And that prolific offense. I think that's our chance tonight. Just us dominating the possession of the ball. Because if we don't do that, if we don't convert third downs, it may be a
A long
long
night.
night. It's gonna be a long night, and then we can get run out the stadium quickly. So we just have to lean on Aaron Jones. Short passing games, gonna be a lot of short dumps and things like that to control the clock, and hopefully we make Aaron Rodgers. It's a close game at fourth quarter. Aaron Rodgers can be the difference down the line. So I'm excited, man. It's a huge game, huge game. I would like for us to be full strength, but
It'd
the
be like
pieces
that.
ain't fall that way. So
Yep.
we'll see.
It'd be,
I'm interested to see.
so do you believe the Cardinals are a true contender, or you need to see it you need to see a little bit more to believe it?
Ah,
It's
I
tricky.
don't know. It's tricky because
Yeah.
they're a talented team, and like offensively, like they have weapons. Even with getting Ertz, on that tight end position now, like
Mm-hmm.
they have a lot of weapons. And it looks like AJ Green has a little type of resurgence this year too. You know
He's
what I
found
mean?
some life in his game again. He heard the
Yeah,
I'm washed conversation, you know?
exactly. And he's been playing really well. They got Kirk, they got the little rookie Ronald Moore.
Yep.
They got Edmonds in the backfield with Connor, like little
Mm-hmm.
1-2 punch back there. So offensively, they're as elite as any team in the league. Defensively, they just lost J.J. Watt for the season. Though I
I
don't know if you
know
just
that
heard
hurts.
that. That's
Yeah, that
big. And
hurts.
so at the end of the day, do I think they can beat the Rams? Do I think they can beat the Bucks? I don't know. That's something that we will have to see. This is the first year I believe that they've had full success. So, and they're not really experienced when it comes to playoff football. So we'll see, man. Like I like where they're going. I think Kyler Murray is legit. But like I said, they don't have the experience yet. So we'll see how they play down the line when they, play the Tom Brady's of the world and have the game plan against a McVay and all that. So and even your rival nemesis, the Cowboys. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah, they like you could like there's like two ways you can see the Cardinals. You can see them having one of those years where nobody's rocking with them and they actually contend for a Super Bowl, or you can see them being one of those teams that go 14-2 and get outed in their first playoff game at home in the divisional round, because we've seen it far too many times. Like an NBA
yep.
comparison would be like the Atlanta Hawks when they was out here winning 60 plus games, or like one of them great Falcons teams that wins all those regular season games and just lays an
Yeah.
egg as soon as the playoff starts, because they lack that experience and they're going to have to play either Godgers or Goat Brady. So, I mean, we're going to
Mm.
see how real they are. This is a good test for them tonight, even though Green Bay's not at full strength. When you got that bad man Rodgers back there, they always have a chance. So we'll
Yep.
see.
Even know where the Packers, they're 6-0, without Devontae Adams too. So
That's
that's
crazy.
big. It seems like when he's not out there, other guys step up and make plays in order to for us to win these games. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out tonight. I'm excited to see how we come out.
and I'm looking out in the AFC. What the fuck is wrong with the Chiefs right now? Because something's not good in the water right now in Kansas City, Missouri. They look like a shit football team right now. Like they don't even look like a playoff team. And even though Mahomes is like up there for yards and touchdowns, he doesn't even look right now. What the hell is going on with the Chiefs right now?
I think when it comes to the Chiefs, right? I don't think teams fear them anymore. You know what I mean? Like the thing was,
Mm-hmm.
a couple years ago, like last year, maybe even 2 years ago, um, Mahomes and the offense they strike fear into opponents in terms of the ability of what they can do on the offensive side of the ball, right? And
Mm-hmm.
now they've seen film on Mahomes the last 2 seasons. That plays a big part in terms of teams being able to game plan against them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, right, their defense has just been horrific. You
That's
know what
been
I mean? They
terrible
can't they can't stop anybody, right?
at all.
So now you're asking Mahomes to be basically perfect every week in and week out um, to win games, and it hasn't happened for him, and he's just he's struggling. The funny thing is though, he's struggling, but still like top four and top five and
And
and,
everything.
and, and
That
everything. You know what I mean? So it just
boy's good.
shows it just shows the expectations that people have of him and this offense and this team as in general and Andy Reid. So I feel like they'll get it together.
For
They'll get
sure.
it together, sooner or later. But in terms of them coming out of the AFC, man, I don't know, man. I'm having my doubts, man. I love what they're doing down there in Buffalo. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I love Josh Allen, man. His style of play and that whole offense. They got weapons, man.
For days.
Sanders, they
Beasley.
got Beasley, Diggs, of course, right? You
The
got
tight end is
nice two
catching on.
tight
Dawson
tight
Knox.
end. Dawson Knox is nice too. Like he Josh Allen can spread the ball around to a
And that
lot of
defense
different weapons,
nasty.
and the defense is legit. You know what I mean? So and the way they beat the Chiefs in Kansas City, a couple weeks ago, I feel
Impressive.
like they took that personal. That game was a personal game for the Bills, and they wanted to come out and not only beat them but dominate them, and which they did. And now they got that tiebreaker over them.
Yep.
Last year the AFC Championship was in Kansas City. Huh.
Yep.
Now you got to go down to Buffalo. It's gonna
Yes,
be tough.
sir. It is
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
tough.
tough. But Mahomes and the crew, they'll get it together. They got the Giants on Monday night. I feel like
Get
Giants
right
are a
game.
perfect game to get right at home. And they'll be good. But yeah, you're right, man. They're a mess right now.
Hell yeah, they are a mess right now, but I like what Buffalo's doing. I like what Baltimore's doing. I'm looking at up and coming team like the Chiefs, and what all those teams have in common, they all have a special quarterback. And I don't care how you spell it with football. If you don't have one of those, you don't have a real shot to go to the party. You don't have a ticket to the party without one of those. Everybody's, oh, you gotta build a defense and then you can win with a game manager. Like, bro, that shit happens twice in 20 years. Like that shit, there's a couple outliers named Joe Flacco, Nick Foles, shit like that. It is always a great quarterback that wins the Super Bowl. Even if the defense does show up and have that type of game, like every 20 years, there's maybe two, maybe three times you can win without a quarterback. And
Yeah.
my whole life, we've been without one. So I just want to know what it feels like to have a chance every year at fucking contention. And I don't know what we got to do. Like my plan would be when the season ends, just shoot your fucking shot at everyone before you talk about the draft. Like call up the Seahawks, offer them something ridiculous. Call up the Packers, offer them something ridiculous. Call up the Raiders, offer something ridiculous. You try to get a established quarterback before you say, fuck it, we got to go to the draft and get a young guy. But I'm just trying to figure out, why would somebody want to play in Washington?
and, and to your point, right? And to your point, like quarterbacks, right? You look at Seattle, right? Russ goes down. Russ goes down, right? They have They have their backup. Their backup come
Gino.
in. I forgot Gino. Had
Gino.
Gino come in, right? You know, this reason is why quarterbacks get paid the way they do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because of people like Gino and the backups that can't win games for you, right? Now Russ goes down, right? And now Gino comes in, and you look at this past game they just had. I mean, Gino was just apart from that 84-yard touchdown to Metcalf. What did
He was
Gino do?
garbage.
Garbage, man. So you know, QBs. I don't care what nobody says. You can have a legit defense. That you can have, any part of the football team could be legit. If you don't have a quarterback that can elite, well, not even elite, but that a stable quarterback that can win you games down the line. You can't go nowhere. You know what I mean? In general,
Nowhere.
like you said, you know what I mean. Like even you guys getting like a Derek Carr, right? Let's say you hit up Oakland, get like Vegas, get like a Derek Carr. That's a
Huge pickup.
huge upgrade. You know what I mean?
Hell
Derek
yeah.
Carr on your guys' team. With I know you guys' defense has been not what it's not what's expected to be coming into the season. But even with Derek Carr at the helm, with the weapons you guys have with Scary Terry and Logan Thomas and a healthy Curtis Samuel, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah, if
feel
we
like
ever get that.
right. So like but like to your point, man, like quarterback is everything, man. You can't do too much without a
Everything.
quarterback. You can't do too
Hell
much
yeah.
without a quarterback. So
Hell yeah.
that's
And
important. That's important.
before we jump over to some more basketball talk, why are we so bad in fantasy this year, bro?
Man. We're the two worst teams in my league, man. We're the two worst teams in my. The thing is, I'm in 5 leagues this year.
Yeah, I'm in 4. I'm never doing 4 again. I'm gonna stop this
I'm
shit.
in.
It's gonna be my league and
Uh,
yours.
I'm in 5, and my league is the one that I'm doing the worst in. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I'm 1
yeah,
and
it
6,
just
bro.
yeah, I'm 2-5. Our we just haven't had good luck, man. We just haven't had good luck. I know the CMC situation. You having to give CMC to me, and I haven't been able to play the guy. Like
And I ain't been able to
it's
play the guys
crazy.
that I got for CMC. It's just a bad luck year. Thank God in my league, no one is doing shit in the conference. So everyone's like a game apart because your league, like I'm throwing up desperation, Hail Mary heaves just to try to rebuild my roster at this point. Like I have a whole completely new starting lineup now because I just said fuck everybody. Like y'all take them and I'll start over just to see if I can go on some type of run. I need new juju on the roster. Like, why do we play multiple fantasy football leagues? Like that shit, it does not make any sense. Like, why do we do this
Yeah,
shit?
I think it's just it boils down to the level of the game, man. Like in
Competitive
general,
juices. Yeah.
and then the competitiveness of you knowing your stuff in terms of being able to draft the right people, right? The draft the right position players and all that stuff. It all goes into feeling like you can win a league or two, right?
Yep.
So just like you said, competitive juices and knowing the knowledge of the game that falls into it. So yeah, man, it's my first time being in that many leagues. So we'll see how that goes in terms of my league. I know a trade went down yesterday. Um, a trade went down yesterday that I wasn't really too fond of, but hey, I guess I was the only one tripping over that trade. I guess after everybody's comments to it.
Listen, man, it was a fair deal, man. It was a fair deal in the sense that my roster can't get worse at this point, and I need to shake things up. It ain't collusion or no shit like that. It may look
Nah, but
that way.
look, but you guys cannot you guys cannot say that I don't have any type of point though. You feel me? Like from my point of view and how I'm looking at things, right? But after Buckles broke down certain things and how other people broke down certain things and all that, like I came to the fact that, you know, my thing is how can you win this week? You know what I mean? Like
Like
you're 1-5.
at this point, I'm doing my best to try to put together a roster that may run something. I made multiple trades. I don't know if you've seen the trades I made after that jump, but there was more
Yeah, yeah,
moves
yeah.
made.
Yeah, I saw. You was real active. You was real active getting some pieces. I like and I like the moves you made until like if Lamar wasn't on a bye this week,
I'd
you
be
know, I feel
Gucci.
like yeah, I felt
Hell
like it
yeah.
was a like I wouldn't I feel like it was a great trade. But my thing is, you know, you need and you know, in our league, in my league, of course, the quarterback position is a little bit more important. It gets a little bit more points. So I feel like, you know, like a Josh Allen can put you over the top and get you like and especially against the Dolphins this weekend. You know what I mean? You're gonna have a huge game. But you know, I like the Sterling Shepard move. You know what I mean? He's been a PPR god, but he just
Hmm.
can't stay healthy. So we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. I play
Hell
Buckles
yeah.
this weekend. It's a big matchup, so we'll see.
All right. So let's get to the fun conversation that we always have. You know, who is the greatest of all time when it comes to basketball? Honestly, it's a discussion I'm like honestly sick of having. I'm sick of hearing about it. I'm sick of seeing Twitter talk about it because it's such a fucking subjective conversation because eras are different. There's so many factors to your argument for each person. So I'm gonna change the way we talk about it. What is the best version of LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan? Like, because Jordan won all his rings in the 90s, but you could argue that he was his best 86 through 89 because he was putting up crazy numbers. LeBron, I feel like his best could be what he did in 2018 with the Cavs. I got the shirt on, by the way, or
Mhm.
with the best version of him looks like it's years 2 through 4 in Miami because that man was a fucking unstoppable locomotive those years in Miami. And with Kobe, like it looks like it was when Shaq left, but he was also doing crazy numbers while Shaq was in the building. When was the peak of all of the with those three players? Let's just talk about those three players. What was the best? What was the best version of all of them?
So let's start with LeBron. Me personally, I feel like LeBron's best years, his best year ever to me was the year after he lost his first championship. So his first ship, the first ship he won, um, I feel like that was the best Bron I've seen, right?
So
Even
20,
his
20,
tenure in Miami.
2011, 2011, 2012, Brown.
Yeah, yeah, 2011, 2012 Bron. Like that particular season was probably the best that I feel like Bron has played. When it comes to tenure, man, that's tough. You know what I mean? Because you know his Miami stint, man, he was dominant. Like I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
he was dominant, right? He had you know, of course he had Wade by his side, but you know, I feel like that was his prime years of his career where his talent was maximized. Like that's where he was at his peak. You know, his Miami years.
I think
Oh,
I think his best year in Miami was the third year,
you
the
think
year
so?
after like so they lost the first year, they won the second year versus the Thunder. It was the year they beat the Spurs the first time. Yeah, the years they beat the Spurs, the year when they
You thought
went
that
on
was
the
his best
streak.
season?
Yeah, the year they went on that 27 game win streak. Hell yeah.
Mm.
LeBron was so on top of the world. Like he's coming off the title. He goes to the Olympics, kills it at the Olympics, and then wins another MVP, goes crazy, and they challenged a record that we know is never going to be topped in NBA history. Is that winning streak of the Lakers? Was it 33 in a row?
Yes.
They won like 28 in a row in Miami that year. LeBron was freaking unstoppable, bro. But like for me, it's that year and his playoff run in 2018 was so freaking outstanding. Like he hit like 5 game winners. That's the year he put that 51 up in Golden State in game 1 of the finals, and then J.R. Smith happened, and then we never got to see a competitive finals because that ruined any momentum the Cavs had. Like that's my strongest argument for LeBron being the GOAT is that there are so many, like he has different eras within his one career that you could all compare as the greatest we've ever seen a player in the league. And that is why I stand so adamantly on that, like LeBron. Yes, bruh. Like he's that guy,
I
man.
I feel like LeBron. I feel like, and to piggyback on your opinion in terms of his best year, I feel like that first year he won the chip was his best year because of the type of adversity he was
The
coming off.
pressure. Yeah.
The pressure, right? The pressure coming off losing to the Thunder, not to the Thunder. Who did they
The
lose to?
Mavs. The Mavs.
The Mavs.
Oh my God.
Them
That
losing to
series.
the
Whew.
Mavs that previous year. Him coming into that season. I don't think there's been amount of pressure on any professional athlete ever. I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
ever coming into that particular season.
Yep.
Um, Especially how they lost in the finals and that playoff run that he had, I feel like held more weight to it because of how the previous playoff run ended. You know what I mean? That game 6 in Boston that
Oh
year,
my God. Woo!
legendary. That's probably top 5 performance ever I've seen with my
Ever.
two eyes. I've seen with my two eyes under the circumstances that he was in elimination game in the Garden, bro. That
That was
game
insane.
that game is what solidified me personally about him being like, okay, I can't even hate on this man. Um, can't even hate on him. And then when he won his first chip, um, the year before he went to uh
Back to
before
Cleveland.
he came to, yeah, no, I'm talking
No,
about
before the Lakers. The Lakers.
yeah, before the Lakers. That playoff run too was big. You know what I mean?
It was crazy.
Like you said, it was crazy. I mean, he was doing things that you seem like he does things where I feel like nobody else done before, but then he just makes it look so
Easy.
easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's had, like you said, he has had so many different times within his career where that particular stint was like probably the greatest we've seen. You know what I mean? So when it comes to LeBron, man, like he's definitely top 3, man. He's definitely top 3 in
Two.
terms of greatest
Top
of.
two. Top two. No, we're not disrespecting. We're not disrespecting Brown like that. He's top two, bro. Don't do it. He's either one or two.
Ah,
He's either one or two. There's no way he's third. So we can dead that top three shit. Nah, come on, Gilbert. Come on, Gilbert. Nah, bro. Come on, man.
no. He
Who better?
LeBron.
Magic?
See, and I can't really like that, and that's different eras, right? That's a
Very
different
different
era, right?
eras.
And I can't really, I'm going off history, right? Because I never saw Magic play in person, right?
Yeah, for
I
real.
never saw
Facts.
Magic
Facts.
play in person. I never seen, certain play. I saw Jordan, of course. Jordan towards like '96. Now it was Tyler's, but I
Little as
remember
shit. Oh yeah.
I remember vividly on NBC watching Jordan play. You know what I mean? Towards the
Mm-hmm.
end of his prime years in Chicago, but um, when it comes to Braun, man, like Magic, man, what I see Magic, what I read about him and what I've seen and the things he's done and all that stuff, man, I feel like he's probably 2, man. He's probably
No.
2. I'll put
No.
Braun 3.
I'd
I'll
argue
put
that Kobe. I'd argue that Kobe. I could make an argument for Kobe over Magic.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, exactly. You
You
could. So we throwing Magic at number 4, bro. Like nah. So we
you
putting Magic
can,
at number 4. And to be perfectly honest, I don't even want to talk about Jordan. Fuck Michael Jordan. We're gonna talk about Kobe being Bryant because I know we're still reeling. I know you're still reeling from that, man. Like I don't
bro.
think
That
a
was
celebrity, an athlete, I don't think that a death has ever hit as hard as that, man. Like,
Man, that day I
whew,
still remember vividly where I was at, what I was doing, the
same.
call I got. And it was one of those calls and those things where you're when you hear it, you're like you're taken back about it because it's like Kobe is what? Kobe's dead. What do you mean Kobe's dead? Like that can't even fathom through your head, like in terms of yeah, he's dead. I'm like, what? So that day, I mean, I remember I was at work and I was just like, I mean, talking about devastation like I felt like I personally knew this guy. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
So like The way, and then anybody that knows me, knows how hard, hard I ride for Kobe. You know what I mean? Like, you knew, all my childhood friends know, my coworkers, everybody. You know what I mean? So that really played a part in how I even looked at life, man. Like, him going away and dying like the way he did.
with
And
his little
it was
girl.
sad.
Oh my God.
It was sad, and especially the man he was becoming after basketball.
Oh
People
my
people
God.
don't realize. Yeah, Kobe. We celebrate Kobe for his accomplishments, what he did on the court, but what he was doing off the court was something bigger than anything he's done in his whole career. You know what I mean? So, in his whole life. So, um, uh, Vanessa, man, like, I don't know how she
That
she she dealt with that.
women are superheroes, man. Women moms, they're superheroes because it shakes me up to see her post on the timeline with her and her daughters and talk about Kobe. So I can't imagine what she's going through. Like, there were people, oh, what are y'all crying? Y'all didn't know this person. Like, listen, we grew up watching this person. Like, I've always, like, Kobe wasn't my favorite player, but I've always idolized Kobe. Kobe is one of the beacons of black excellence, bro. Kobe, it's Kobe Bryant, bro. Everybody shot a paper ball into the trash can and yelled Kobe before doing so. Shot a fadeaway and yelled Kobe. Kobe was that guy. Like, these are larger than life humans. And when you, like, I'm sitting there playing Madden and I see this alert come up on my phone, my Twitter alert, and it was TMZ. And I'm like, wait, what? I was like, nah, that's not real. And then they fucked up the story a couple times. They thought it was the whole family with him. Like, I immediately started sobbing, like, because we're not only men now, we're fathers, we're husbands. So we're looking at it from more than he was a basketball player that we really liked standpoint. It's a damn, this is a son, father, and husband. And there are other people on the same thing, and it was preventable. Like, that shit breaks my fucking heart, man.
Man, that day, man, it was just it's something that you can't even, like, describe. In terms of, for me personally, like, I looked up to this man, like since I can remember. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So, in everything he did, in terms of, on the basketball court, off the basketball court, and him being a father, and, him having, me, I got a, me and you both got daughters. You know what I mean? So, in terms of, him being a father figure to his daughters, what he was doing for his daughter, in terms of, upping her basketball game, her knowledge, and all that stuff. It was just hard, man. It was hard to cope with, and I still, even to this day, man, I think about it, um, a lot. So,
Yeah.
everybody played. Kobe was a huge, huge part in everyone's life, um, in everyone's life that followed basketball and followed, what he practiced and what he represented. So, um, yeah, man, it's something that it's a big loss for all of us. So,
Mamba forever, man. And what he's done to advocate for women's basketball, it is taking women's basketball to another level. What he was doing for it was
yep.
absolutely otherworldly, man. He was just getting started for what he was doing. And I know for sure Vanessa and company and his daughters, they're going to keep his legacy going. But on that note, man, it has been real, my brother. I just got one more question for you before we go. And I'm going to let you go ahead and plug your social media. We can get out of here. So you were telling me you're thinking of starting a podcast yourself. What's good with that? What you think the content matter would be? What kind of ideas you got going for that?
Man, yeah. So, me and a couple of my boys, to, like, Kofi. I know you know Kofi,
And Obi.
Obi, and a couple of his friends that I've grown to know, throughout this past year. Wanted to start some, in terms of sports talk, whether it's, fantasy sports, NBA, NFL, just, just vibing and talking sports that we all love to do. You know what I mean? So it's something that, we're really, really starting to to think about and brainstorm how we're gonna do it. And hopefully sooner or later it will come into fruition. So yeah, because we all my friends that we've grown with and all that, man, we all sports junkies, man. Like
Love it.
we breathe, eat, and sleep sports. We're like it's infatuation with it. You know what I mean? So um, like even with me and you, man, like we go way back, and we've been chopping it up about sports since I can remember, since day one. You feel me?
Oh
So
yeah, and that's what keeps
it's something.
friendship. That's what keeps a bond, a friendship alive. No matter how long it is we haven't spoke, we'll jump into a conversation like we just seen each other yesterday.
Yeah,
Uh,
man. So it's just something that some that we've been brainstorming about that we want to do. So hopefully sooner or later we can get it rolling, get the ball going, and start something. So yeah, the content would be about just regular sports talk, nothing in particular, but sports talk. Boys just talking about fantasy sports
Betting,
and NBA and NFL. And yeah, yep. So you know,
just do it.
hopefully
That
some can come up.
Okay, what I say the best advice is to just start. Like I'm still getting my feet wet in this content creation game, and
Hmm.
don't let the fact that it's flooded waters out here fool you, because good content and the cream always rises to the top. I know you do. I know you guys, and I know y'all have stuff to say, and I know y'all can say it in a way that's captivating and that people will grasp onto. Just get your shit and just start doing it and figure out the rest on the way. This content shit, I love it, bro. It's fun, and you build a community of subscribers, supporters, and followers, and it's like it's a 24/7 forum of just you kicking it with a community of your people. Just do that shit. And just to close us out, I'm gonna just say this. I think Jordan is the most decorated, larger than life athlete we've seen in American sport. I think LeBron is the most talented basketball player, and I think Kobe was the most skilled. I think we should stop comparing them because their games are different. And I think as black men, we should appreciate the beacons of black excellence in our community, and we should not try to force every single black man that's accomplishing something against each other, because that shit is toxic, and we need to find a way to just appreciate greatness while it's here. Go ahead and let people know where they can find you. We can get out of here for the day, man.
Yeah. So my Instagram name is real deal Gil underscore real deal Gil another underscore. That's where you can find me at, and you can also find me at on Twitter, Gil all day 9092. So that's where I'll be at. Hopefully, me and a couple of my friends can get something started um later down the line, and because we enjoy this, man. We enjoy this.
Hell
This is
yeah.
something we generally like to do. Um, it's something that we don't try hard to do. It just comes out naturally, right? Because it's
Naturally,
just
yep.
something that we enjoy doing. And just to piggyback off of what you said about Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron, I couldn't agree more, man. They brought all three brought different types of uh, facets of how they play to the game. They all three different, but like they
Greatness.
say, they're all at the end of the day, they all displayed greatness at different times of their career. So and eras. So yeah, man, it's been a pleasure for having me on here, man. I appreciate it. This is something that I was looking forward to doing, and I couldn't couldn't thank you more enough for having me on the show, bro.
Absolutely. And we'll definitely do it again. And I'm going to stay on top of y'all to get that pod going, because, listen, I waited far longer than I should have to get it going. And I found the longer that I waited to get started, I found a different excuse as to why I wasn't. Oh, I don't know what I want to name it. I don't got a mic. I don't got this. I don't got that. You just got to get going. But, man, I appreciate you. And on that note, y'all know where to find me. Rambling with Rio on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to get notifications when I post. Find me on all social medias at Rio_Robinson91. Until next time, hell to the nameless football team. Deuces.
We out. Thank you, man.